Hello everyone and welcome back to Fatum Iratus, Lord of the Dead, Fatum Aeterna, the fate of the eternal, to forever act as the avatar of death, to cleanse this world of the corrupted mortals. We continue our purge through the mercenary barracks. We face before us some very annoying enemies. All of these are what I would consider a high priority target, so it's going to be quite interesting to deal with them, but I have come up with an approach that is so bizarre, so insane, so questionably questionable that it might just actually work. And I hope so, because we did not make a whole lot of progress last time, conducting science, testing things against constructs that we weren't really supposed to be fighting. And it was actually infuriating how much we did fight. But before I explain my incredibly questionable moment of insanity, it's time to gamble. I love gambling. Of course, I'm a World of Warcraft player, so my entire existence is about gambling. Freaking loot.
The smell of successful alchemy.
So you might be asking, what are we gambling for? Great question. Glad you asked. We are gambling for
It's
our
no
boy.
gold, but it will do.
Our one and only. Our hypercarry, Nergleth. Now, I mentioned last time that if we did get some good parts for Nergleth, what's with all these uncommon pieces? We would become unstoppable. Nergleth possesses 2 bones, a heart, and some flesh. A lot like us, really. We have a bunch of bones, we have a heart, and we have some flesh. Oh, I'm still making bones, though. Ruh-roh. I had swamped this in my brain, but obviously not in action. Now we don't... Oh, that was fast. We don't want to use all of our resources, because should something go horribly awry, we will require...
Hold my work.
this snuff. But it looks like we have all rare materials for Nergleth to empower him to levels of greatness. I was hoping to get some legendaries, but legendaries are actually quite uncommon below the 4th floor, so how we got legendary dust is actually kind of beyond me. And armor. Oh well. Let's get some points, shall we? I don't need to see this. I'm aware of what I'm doing, game. I've been doing it long enough. Quite some time, actually. Nergleth, we have 29 points to spend on our hypercarry, on our beautiful boy. And the question that comes to mind, that everyone should be asking themselves right now, are we going to spend these on defense? And if you said yes, you obviously haven't been paying attention. The answer was no. We have spent almost all of our points. We had 29, so we spent 21 points in Dread, going from level 3, well, plus 3 to plus 7 now, sitting at a whopping 44 to 47, 46 Dread damage. I can read, I promise. So we have 2 options now. Henceforth, option 1, sit on these 8 points until we level up once more to get the next level of Dread. I'm kind of okay with that. Option 2, hold on to this point and actually get a block or a ward and be responsible. It's boring. Option 3, spend these points now in luck and in initiative. Actually, we might not even spend the initiative point, we might just save it after putting points in luck. Or we could be even more responsible. And do evasion vigor. Why so responsible, though? You know? We're here to kill. The only thing that's stopping me from pressing this luck button is Dread, honestly. Well, I can't decide. So, Nergleth is going to go back into the arena with Gorathnaka, and I'm going to explain my insanity. In a moment of sheer genius, I thought of how we can kill the gargoyles faster. I have mentioned briefly before the Murder Banshee. The idea of the Murder Banshee is to scale her attack into oblivion. Well, by oblivion I mean like up to 50-ish, and then hit things with Howl. It's actually quite simple for the Banshee because her attack actually scales quite high, quite quickly. We are saving for one more level up to get another point into evasion, because evasion is basically her entire survivability plan. So not dying is great. But we have obtained a magical artifact. A few, actually, but one in particular that deals a sizable amount of damage for relatively cheap, and happens to deal plus 100% damage if the target is stunned, which is what the Banshee does. So for 22 mana, sitting at 52 spell power, we will deal 102 magical damage, and if the target is stunned, well, that's 204 damage. Unless this wording is throwing me off and it's just the additional damage is doubled, in which case that would still be a sizable amount of damage, like 152. So it would still be a lot. Now, I've decided that it would be a good idea not to lean all the way into this. So I am bringing Helion and Moftet alongside, just to make sure we have another way to kill the construct if, for example, if this doesn't work. Because let's be real, it might not. And I'm okay with that. If it doesn't, we've learned. We've lived, we've learned. I want to upgrade the excavation. We could upgrade... So we can upgrade the Abode of Wrath or the Iratus statue. It might be time for the Abode of Wrath. Wrath is very helpful. So very, very helpful. Okay. I do like Wrath.
Despite a lack of eyes, they know to aim for the neck.
I do like the Headhunter. I've called him Headless Hunter for so long, but he's actually called Headhunter. But he's headless. So I call him Headless Hunter. Well, I was left with a great tip, which is to not use the Banshee on this floor. It's a wonderful tip. The reason is because of what just happened. But you know, sometimes you can just get away with it. That was basically my response too. It was like, you kind of negate the damage, the danger of the Banshee by, nice. You can negate the danger posed to the Banshee entirely, but with blocks, blocks, in this case applying a block, and with consuming the debuff, or just dispelling it like we did. No block for you. It's about time we crush this bone. We did gain a plus 10.
Just a fraction of my power.
We're still going to do it. We did gain plus 10 spell power by Helium's presence. Simply by the Lich being here, we gain an additional plus 10 spell power, so we're going to crush some bones. I'm not actually sure if resistance is applied to this, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it is. So subtract 22 from this, and let's see what this does. Well, I think we can all go home. Congratulations, everyone. We figured it out. We've cracked the code. Boy, guess I'm a fan of that. This shouldn't hurt, right? Right, it's a trap. I figured. Well... I wouldn't call this a problem, but I would call it a challenge. Huh. Okay. So, in order to stop this, what are we going to have to do? Great question. I can't say I know the answer, but I like moving people around. Do we YOLO the shrapnel?
Decay, corruption, extinction.
I kind of want to. I mean, honestly, couldn't I just kill him with magic again? That's technically not hitting him. You know? Technically not hitting him. Or I can just YOLO the shrapnel. I kind of want to do that. That sounds like fun. I'm here to have fun. Although I should try... Well, I can't do it. Alright. Helion, if you die to this, I'm sorry. But it's for science. It's for a good cause.
Unnecessary sacrifice.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. Sorry, Helion. Oh, I almost sacrificed Mothdet too. Alright, you know what?
One less annoyance in the world.
Mothdet might actually die. You know, I raised Mothdet's death flag a long time ago. Interesting. I'm about to spend a ridiculous amount of mana to keep Mothdet alive. I sure am.
Crunchy.
Ooh. Is that unique dialogue? It sounded like unique dialogue. Well, we've saved Mothdet at a remarkable 5 vigor. Let's not get any lower, please. I did move forward here, so maybe it was too early to claim victory. Okay. That was close. Maybe, move backwards or something. You guys have a lot of luck. Can't say I'm a fan of that. But hopefully we will go ahead and kill them and never see them again. So, good news. This works. Bad news. We have to be a little afraid. You weren't supposed to miss there. Oh, that was convenient. Alright, we won. I didn't cut that close at all or anything. Not even a little bit. I was never afraid. I do feel really bad about killing Helion, but at the same time, I did learn something rather valuable. Which, I mean, if you're gonna sacrifice one of your minions to the Dark Gods, you might as well learn something through the process, right?
As your suffering ends, your service begins.
So we just obtained a mechanical eye. Ooh, that means I have to do a thing, doesn't it? But the thing doesn't... But our... Well, I want to see how strong Nerglith has become either way. So, the mechanical eye. Okay, so before I talk about the mechanical eye, we have a quest before us. What do we think this will be? I was just going to assemble all of the minions I've seen the game use. That was a weird explanation for that, wasn't it? All of the minions that I've seen the game...
Skeleton will clean up this mess later.
Have unique options for. Does it make sense? But at the same time, this might also be a combat evasion. So, if this is a combat, we need a group that actually kills things, huh? Also, if it's a combat with a construct, I might just cry. Alright, well, back to health for that. I'll keep this dagger equipped just in case, because I'm going to bring our OG composition here. Because I want to see my hyper carry boy in action. We'll just bring this group, and then I'll talk about other possibilities later. Quest time! What do we got? Grand, sprawling castles, so often filled with secrets and, more importantly, secret passages. So you are not surprised when one of your undead finds a small nook in an otherwise ordinary wall that might open a passage into the unknown. What would be on the other side, you wonder? Well, first thing you'll need to figure out is how to actually open the damn thing. The wall is much too sturdy for even your zombies to blast open. Well, let's attempt to locate the mechanism. I'm not running away. Success 70%. After spending a few minutes searching, you finally figure out the riddle that is needed to open up the passage. Inside takes you to a more remote area of the castle, opening up an attack route that your enemies will not expect. How unfortunate for them. Nergleth gains 1 initiative for 3 battles. Okay, so they've all gained 1 initiative for 3 battles. Not bad. Good thing I chose my good group, huh? Wait, does that mean 3 battles that they participate in, or just the next 3 battles? Because if it's the former, then I could pull them out, one of them out, and just keep them with that initiative buff until we really needed it. But is 1 initiative really worth going through all that effort? No, probably not. This next battle is Elven Ranger, Shield Maiden, Swordsman, and Elite Crossbowman. How do we feel about this? Fine. We feel fine. To the arena. Shambler, please continue on your journey to rank 15. And Gyangangar, I have more science to conduct with you, so do something helpful. Actually. Why do I feel like Genganga would get absolutely destroyed in this group composition? Like, immediately butchered, skewered, severed. Yep, okay. He'll stay in the arena. So, I need to change my weapon. That's fine. The Mechanical Eye. I have a lot to say about it. Also, we need more mana. We might turn one of these into our playthings. Don't be surprised if we do. Ooh, 37 baseline. We're getting up there. So the Mechanical Eye is an item that you can give a minion, and it makes said minion always, without question, and without doubt, hit. They will never miss. It is impossible to miss. Even the rogues in their stance that have, what was it, 97 evasion or something we saw last time? Not even they can miss. So, you can see the potential, right? It's quite tantalizing. And there's one particular creation above all other creations that this would be supremely helpful against. And that, or not against, helpful for. And that is the Headhunter. The Headless Hunter. That's what I was talking about earlier. Because they scale incredibly poorly with accuracy. So, free accuracy is free accuracy. You know? Let's do Celerando.
My kingdom comes.
I like how she's protecting the Elven Ranger, but that's literally the one that I don't care about at all. Like, I literally couldn't care less. Good betrayal. So, the Headless Hunter, as his name suggests, is a hunter. He deals nothing but physical damage, which is not exactly our goal this time around. But of all of the characters that deal physical damage, he is a curious one. Because his goal, the entire point of his existence, is basically to one-shot things.
Ooh, this one voided its bowels just as it died.
And there's a boss coming up very soon that his insane amount of damage could be pretty helpful against. So, my curiosity has been struck, and it's good to remember. This isn't effective evasion, so screw you. It's good to remember that, if necessary, we have the Mechanical Eye in our back pocket. He does also have some ability that deals stress, but I've never, ever, ever used it. And I have no idea if it's any good or not. Thanks for missing. We're all back to full health. Wow. This is great. Well, as I was saying, this is great. Wow. It's even better. There's a reason this is the OG team.
You know, if this keeps up, I'll be done purging the world ahead of schedule.
This is the reason. So we have reached the Sacrificial Altar and 3 talent points, which means it's time for Infectious Lunacy.
It will be a messy slaughter.
I mentioned last time, we have opened the pathway to so many amazing talents. Durable materials, Vigor's great. Scalpel Artist, parts are great. Dark Enlightenment, Wrath is great. Finger of, well, we have to do quite a bit for Finger of Death. Finger of Death, literally game winning. Blood Curse, amazing. These 2 things, and even Overwhelming Ire, great. But the back of my head was nonstop like, Infectious Lunacy, Infectious Lunacy. So, the appropriate comment by Kierovets, thank you, is that Cthulhu is slowly whispering, not slowly, whispering, reminding me, hey, it's time for Infectious Lunacy. And you know what? That's fine with me. Speaking of Cthulhu whispering, Eternity of Misfortune sounds great, doesn't it? I'm not actually sure which path here is, quote-unquote, correct. Eternity of Misfortune is basically just the same thing that we've had. We get 10 free Vigor, which is what's drawn me towards it, but it will extend all debuffs afflicting enemies by 2 turns, except for stun debuffs, or stun effects. This might actually count curses as well, because those are debuffs. Or calculated as debuffs, or something. Which could be intriguing. If you could extend stuns by 2 turns, by the way, that would just be broken. Like, absolute cheese factory broken. The other way is the Eternity of Torment, also quite Lovecraftian. Additionally deals 2 stress damage for each point of negative luck that the target has. We're coming to a point in the game where enemies have a ton of stats, so as powerful as this could potentially be, we're going to go with Eternity of Misfortune.
Now, prove yourself worthy of my investment.
It's also really nice to see 161. Ooh. 8 away from... Wait a minute. We're 8 away from the magic number. And this gives exactly 8. It's teasing me. It's fate. I'm fated to get 169. Well, I say that, but if Moftet gets any more kills, I'm pretty sure... Yeah. She has 2 kills. If she gets 1 more, it would throw it all off. Math is hard, isn't it? So anyway, we're here at the Sacrificial Altar, and I mentioned this at the end of the last episode, but Solus Emsu, thank you, has compiled the entire list of the consumable artifacts that every creation drops, because every creation drops a different consumable artifact, or at least their own consumable artifact, when you sacrifice them. I'll put the complete list down below. I did it last time too, because I mentioned it at the very end. But I'm not going to say them all because it'd take a long time for me to go through it all. But what we're going to go for today, let me just double check my little handy dandy list. What we're going to go for today is the Blood Phantasm. Now, I think normally what I would recommend going for is the Dark Knight, because he gives the Book of Wisdom, which gives additional experience to Iratus when you win your next victory. But we're going to try and praise the dark gods of RNG.
Like you and I, revenge is what drives us.
And go for the Philosopher's Stone. After winning the battle, Iratus gains a non-consumable artifact. So this should be a random artifact. Also, we got the mummy wrappings. So, Moftet, that death flag I raised a while ago, you know, if you happen to fulfill it, I got a backup plan. So it's okay. So here we go, the Philosopher's Stone. There are still a number of things we're aiming for.
Fetching.
I guess we can get the Glass Dagger. Primarily, if we could get the other piece of the Spirit set, the Spirit Spear, this makes it so we gain additional damage when on a killing blow. Very much like the Spirit Chainmail, just for Damahe. And I love Damahe. Speaking of Damahe, Asifraj, what are you doing? Obviously, the ideal selection here would be Vigor. It's also quite not possible. We have a Skull. We'll hold on to it for now. Asifraj is so powerful that he doesn't need additional parts. He'll get some, but not now. So I guess part of me wants to upgrade initiative, because Asifraj moving quickly means he can apply Bone Ward to the appropriate person or do something else, like maybe we need to interrupt a stand. That might be very important later on, thinking of a few very terrifying explosions. But also, I was thinking, I'm pretty sure this is actually discussed with Solas as well. The Bone Armor, by default, applies 2 block. And the 2 upgrade paths, one of them is Bone Ward. This makes it so instead of 2 block, it's 1 block, 1 ward. And that's just kind of versatile, jack-of-all-trades sort of approach. This can be used in every situation, no matter what. But we're kind of finding, last episode made it very clear, that maybe plus 2 block would be more helpful. There are a number of characters that hit multiple times. For example, here on this floor, it's the Swordsman. On the final floor, the Champion hits twice. The Monster Hunter hits twice. The last boss hits like 4 times. So there isn't... Why? There is an argument to be made. I'm mildly irritated. There is an argument to be made.
It embellishes my undead features, no?
For... Give me more... That, yeah. An argument to be made... Bryn, please. There is an argument to be made to go the other path, to get 2 block, to continue countering those sort of things. Now, I killed Helion in my science, so... I'm sorry. And by means of apology, we'll bring him back. Do I have a Lich name written down? I was just going to do Helion again because, historically, my Liches... Of course, a Lich, in case you weren't familiar in most mythos and or lore, a Lich is basically a necromancer that stores their soul in a phylactery, so their body is kind of indestructible because their soul can't be destroyed. And so even if you destroy their body, grind their bones to dust, because their soul still exists, they can reconstruct their body at a more convenient time. So I've always made it so my Liches always just have the same name. I also don't have a name written down for a Lich, as far as what we have left. I have 2 Wraith names, which is actually surprising. Both of them are excellent as well. And a Mummy name still. You know, just in case I raise Moff Death's death flag again. Alright, so we'll bring this Lich up real quick. 14 is good enough. As far as potential is concerned, we probably want Shrapnel again.
My enemies are in for a nasty surprise.
Definitely Corrosive. I want to try Dominate Undead as well. Keep that train a-rolling. I'm not actually sure what the right option would be here. I've used Sacrifice before, but I don't like using it. I guess I'll go with Cruel Sacrifice. What's my reasoning for Cruel Sac? You know what? We'll just go with Cannon Fodder.
I expect results.
Very much for the same line of reasoning that Asifraj went for the bigger Boom Boom Annihilation system, is because if I have to press this button that I don't want to press, I want it to do something. 1 accuracy should be sufficient. We could get more defenses, but I'm not going to. We'll grab 2 Vigor. That's fine. That should be enough. That was pretty expensive as well. Grab some Dread. Like 2 points in experience in that. And then 1 initiative, why not? Okay. That's fine. I think I'll stick with my tradition. Liches will just keep the same name whenever I spawn them. Although... nah. I was going to say the Helion too, but You're a lich. You were you the whole time. That makes sense, doesn't it? You were you the whole time. And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you... you meddling kids and your mangy mutt. This should work, right? I do have that thing equipped, right? Yeah, we're back to the Infused Dagger because we're going to kill this thing. The reason why I really wanted a Lich here, besides the fact that the Corrosive Cloud helps, is that the Lich provides plus 10 spell power, which helps with the dagger without me having to equip other things. So I get to keep the Spirit Chainmail equipped, which is nifty, and I don't have to equip the whatchamacallits. This worked out really well, didn't it? Okay. I can't believe I have to spend my turn doing this. It's mildly infuriating. Let me know how I can crush bones.
Crunchy.
That was 250 exactly. Alright, Loviatar, you have to dodge. Please, my dear. You know what? No, you don't. Use some block. Ossifrage will make the problem just disappear. Speaking of Ossifrage, Helion, listen to me. 50-50. Flip the coin, kill the gargoyle, get your spirit vigor back. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not mad. Mildly disappointed, but I'm mad. No, it's fine. I'm just joking. It would have been nifty, but, tis what it is. I guess we're going to calcify. This is actually going to be a great question. So I don't know how I keep track of this, but if I kill him with the crushed bones, by him I mean the gargoyle, will that give vigor to someone? I should have checked Loviatar before this combat, because I'm guessing it's going to go to her.
Become part of the breathless tide.
I was watching and I didn't see any health numbers pop up. I don't know. That was another thing I wanted to science up. And now I have no idea. She has exactly 99 health, though. Maybe it did? I don't know. So if someone does know, that's a great question. If you kill something with magic, is the spirit reward handed off to the last person that hit them? Or does it just not exist? That's an option, too. Hopeless. That was a pretty good one to hit.
Your frail bodies fail you.
I need Loviatar to dodge so you can heal. That would be great. So ideally... yeah, that works too. Weakness. Good. No, I need you to... here. Don't protect the rogue. I need you to hit stuff. Did you not listen to my request? Well, you're dead anyway, so I don't even know why I asked. I tried. Also, I'm pretty sure traps don't have accuracy. I'm pretty sure they just connect. Wow. The rogue had 72 evasion. Good job. You played yourself.
Another step towards my eternal kingdom.
What? Insurance deal. After a battle ends, there is a 25% chance that killed minions will revive. I hate this item. Smoking gun. Minions and enemies gain plus 20 accuracy until battle ends. This is an interesting item, isn't it? Because my gut tells me to hate that. And that's probably because I really like evasion builds. Game. Listen. Listen, game. I really like you, game. You're one of my favorite games right now. But would you please, for the love of all that is unholy...
Ah, the smell of successful alchemy.
I kind of didn't mean to do that, but here we are. For all that is unholy, please stop making me fight constructs. Well, I'm going to get rid of this. I don't want this. That's 1,600 experience? What? Thanks. The reason I don't want... Okay, there are a number of reasons I don't like it. First of all, that means your minions are dying, which means you're failing on a fundamental level.
The formulae reveal their secrets.
Also, I'm picking up experimental calcination. The other reason I don't like it is because... that talent point, by the way, just doubles the mana that you get. So instead of 20 from this calcination, my parts are going to give us 40 mana, which is far better use of our time. It's only a 25% chance, and it takes up this ring slot, which is currently being occupied by the Shackles of War, which is very important to me. Also, I picked up Mimir, so I'm going to go ahead and use it.
Fetching.
Okay. I'm fine. Is there anything else I could put in the 4 slot instead of... And I could try Dampier Shenanigans. But we don't have any of the items to support Dampier Shenanigans. And I did that last time. I did that a lot, actually, last time. So I guess I'm just going to go with this. Elite Swordsman, Crossbowman, Elite Gargoyle, and a Bard. This is mildly tilting. So, this is going to play out exactly like it did last time. A little different, actually, though. The main difference is going to be that we're going to focus down. I'm going to wait, actually, with good old Nergleth. We're basically going to one-turn kill this gargoyle. That is the plan. Ow. It's fine. Okay, I'm thinking real quick. If this gargoyle kills... He shouldn't be able to kill Helion. If he does, however, the correct play here is to Hail of Teeth, throw the rock at him, stun him, and then kill him. Okay. Yeah, as I thought. He shouldn't have been Ugh. Because he was in the first position, the only thing he could do was attack, and I'm pretty sure that can't reach the third position, so I was pretty confident in what I was doing. Pretty confident.
Your frail bodies fail you.
Why did that hit so hard? Well, it's not really my place to ask questions like that. We have a slight issue here. Okay. I think I figured out how to do it. So my concern would be if I stunned now, the Bard would just remove it. So we're going to delay, wait for the Bard to do this, whatever. Now we stun. Is there any magic I can use here? I mean, Infectious Lunacy. Do I care? Infectious Lunacy. Oh no, it's way too much mana. Never mind. Ignore that. Ignore that. So we stun, we crush the bones. Bye-bye. I believe Loviatar had 99 health. Okay, she still does. I don't know about Nergleth, though. So I'm not sure who that spirit would have gotten credit for. Not sure. Hopefully healing doesn't die, though, because that would be... Losing 2 liches in 1 episode would be... Well, losing the same lich twice would be quite embarrassing. You know? Should have waited for the bard's turn. I made that mistake again. I caught it before earlier, because it was more important to kill the gargoyle. But this is sufficient. And by sufficient, I mean acceptable. I have to kill that bard. Let's go ahead and remove that buff there. We can't really benefit off it, so I might as well just remove it. In the first position, I'm pretty sure the crossbowman can only throw his little firecracker thingy. Wow, it's like I played this game like 90 hours. How do I want to play this? I definitely want to stun. Okay. I was thinking potentially we could have interrupted this, but I don't really see a reason to. I'll just wait. This cloud won't trigger anything. Okay. Then I can move people around. Oi! Oh, The cloud did trigger it. Okay. Good to know. Well. Turns out missing is a bad thing. Who would have thought? Guess I'll just try and heal. Yeah, he's skipping his turn because he's in his protective stance.
Extinction of life.
Because he's all protective. So I think I've come to the conclusion that any hit is going to cause this, and I need to interrupt it.
Don't know why? There's no sun up in the sky. Bony weather incoming.
So, Ossifrage, I have a job for you. It's a pretty important job, too. Pretty important. Más importante. Don't you freaking mess it up. If Nurgleth gets hits with that again, he's dead. There. Ossifrage, please. Oi. Okay, well the bard's dead.
Carve open their husks.
Please don't miss. Thank you. Okay. Life couldn't be grander. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Alright, we won. But at what cost?
A predictable outcome.
Oh look, another creepy doll. Well, thanks for all the experience. Off that, you've done your duty. Unfortunately, I can't put Ossifrage in here. Well, I could, but I wouldn't recommend it. Ossifrage is our unbreakable wall, and now we have a choice. Do I pretend to be defensive and grab a blocker ward? Or do I get the next level of dread? You know what? If recent events have taught me anything, it's that I don't like being shot. I think everyone can agree with this. Being shot's unfortunate. So... block. Block is good. Block is good. I like block. That was a wise decision after that. Speaking of block, Loviatar has reached rank 18 and can now upgrade her final ability. This is a stance. When she enters the stance, anything that moves will be hit with a small stress damage thingy. This has some incredible synergy with Gorathnaka's ability to move everything, as you might imagine, but we haven't shown that off because I just haven't pressed that button. Well, I have, just not in that series of events. So we're going to upgrade it with... It's hard to tell the difference between these, but basically this is the defensive upgrade option.
Serve me well, my minion.
It does give us +2 evasion baseline, which brings us up to 63. That's a pretty impressive number. But the stance itself, it'll do the same thing. 50% dread stress, 50% of our dread as stress damage whenever anything moves, but the Banshee will gain +1 block and +1 ward while in this stance, adding to her survivability. You're noticing a trend, I hope. Trend that I'm gonna keep repeating over and over and over again. Yay. Get some more Digger cells. 33. We are looking at an elite barbarian, elite elven ranger, elite rogue, and elite elven scout, if I recall correctly. The scout. Ostafrage, you're going to need to heal a lot. Like, this isn't a little bit of healing. This is a lot of healing that you need to do right meow. Chambleur has gained rank 15, which means we can go ahead and upgrade her ability Sudden Reality. We've pressed this like twice, I think, in the entire history of the channel, but it turns out it's a pretty good ability. In case you were unfamiliar, it removes all buffs and debuffs from enemies, and for each buff or debuff removed in such a way, the Lost Souls allies will gain +1 damage until the battle ends. That is both attack damage and dread damage. Very nifty. So one path, Substitute World, reduces the Wrath cost from 50 to 35, not bad, considering this is a support-like ability. The other direction does the same thing, except Iratus will gain 3 mana for each buff and debuff removed. Sold.
Get back to battle.
I'm sold. It also gives the Lost Soul +2 attack and +2 dread. This will increase her offensive and defensive potential because remember, as her attack levels up, so does her ability to heal her friends and hurt them. But you know, give and take, such is life. C'est la vie, as the French saying goes. That's about the extent of my French as well. And oui, I guess. Speaking of attack, she can have some more attack. Not because I need her to attack things, but again, healing things is pretty nifty, pretty unique, being able to heal your friends. We're going to go ahead and pop 1 Distill. I am confident in Ostafrage's survivability. That's being at 50%. Ugh. Can you imagine me saying this about any other creation? Being at 50% is sufficient? There is not a single creation that I can picture in my brain saying that and being, yeah, that's acceptable. Except Ostafrage.
Finally, this item finds its way into my capable hands.
Well, this is the team that I'm most confident with, and we are fighting some new foes. We have not seen a barbarian, and we have not seen a scout. Well, this series. I've seen them. I know what they do. They're a little spoopy. But we'll find out how spoopy they are next time. Once I figure out who we should throw in the arena. Genganga is in here because I do think he has potential. We have a random infested and a random fallen dump here for some reason. Just here. Don't mind them. I guess we don't want Nyarlathotep to get too far behind on the levels. Mothdet survived by the skin of her teeth. I don't think she has any left, though. Probably being mummified. But thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Next time we'll take on... This is a very drawn-out outro because I'm doing other things. We're going to upgrade the Excavation real quick. That'll give us a better chance of finding parts at the end of combat, which is probably good.
This is what a Necromancer's war machine looks like.
Because I've been spending parts like crazy. Okay, so now that's level 3. These two... So we have the Light Barbie and the Obelisk are maxed at level 4. The Dead Lake and the Excavation for bonus things after combat are at level 3. The Abode of Wrath and the Mortuary and Arena are all at rank 2. And Iratus' statue is fallen behind. We'll probably upgrade this to level 2 after the next combat. We'll have enough Digger Souls, and that'll give us plus 16 mana after combat. Not bad. Wasn't this 6 originally, or was it always 8? I don't remember. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Next time, an elite squad. Is that our first elite battle on this floor? It might be. First full elite squad on this floor. And then we will continue our march onwards to the Monster Slayer. We are making slower progress than I would like, but it's because there's a lot of talking and sciencing happening, right? And science is slow. It's a slow process. It must be trusted and done correctly for its results to mean anything, really. Okay, bye-bye.